Looking for these better days.
It is Thursday, February 5th. I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's what you need to know to make today a better day. College basketball conference tournaments are underway. Good day for the models. Tough pick. Bad day for me being greedy. The NBA Game Center continues to deliver, and the World Baseball Classic as well. Mackenzie Rivers joins me on this episode of Better Day, presented by FanDuel. Mac, let's start in college hoops. Conference tournaments are underway, and the college basketball model for Better Day Insider and Premium members identified another big discrepancy in the market, and boy, did we hammer this one home. It was our top play flagged by the bot, which was Detroit Mercy in their game against Milwaukee. They were a 1.5 point favorite, so I said I'm gonna bet the money line. I don't want the 1.5 point favorite, Mackenzie. Detroit Mercy wins.
Just win the
84 to 63. And you know something? Steam moved against us on this. The line stayed at 1.5, but the money line moved down. The money line went from minus 130 down to minus 115. But Detroit Mercy said, I don't care what group out there played against us. We don't care. And they win, as I mentioned, 84 to 63. Now, that was the top play in the model. I got greedy, though. I got greedy, and I should have known better. I played two other plays in the model. Both of them were totals, and both of them got smoked. I played two unders. Those games flew over. One of them was almost over in the first half. And I think it's just a learning curve, man. I've been tracking this model for about a month now, or a couple of weeks, right? We published it live last weekend. It was 6-2 heading into yesterday. So if we just played the top play, it would have been 7-2. I got greedy and played the next two plays, and so now it's 7-4 overall on the record. But I mean, the fact that the top plays keep coming through is very encouraging for the model. How would you like balance? Like whether to play, a top two plays, a top three plays. Like, how do you balance that as somebody that regularly works with a model? Because as you do every day, you work with your NBA model. How do you balance some of the findings? Because it's easy, at least I'm learning now, it's easy to get excited when the model spits out something and you're like, ooh, I have an edge in the market here. And then it doesn't go your way.
Well, I think it's great signal that the bigger the edge or the topper the play, the more top plays are winning. I mean, and especially the margin. I think you want to not look so much at the win-loss, and you do want to look at the aggregate margin and see how you're doing. Mm-hmm. If you're 3 for 5, but your 5 losses were by a combined 7 points and your 3 wins were a combined 30 points, there might be a lot of good signal that you're capturing, and you just got unlucky with the way it rolls down. I would almost think of it as more than one model or different tiers of models. Like they always say, if you're a 60% player, not that anybody is, and you year after year you're 60%, you're making a huge mistake because you should be playing more plays. You should be playing until you're 55, 56%. Because if you're 60% for only the plays you're selecting, that means you're not picking a 58% play or not picking a 55% play. That's a big mistake. That's leaving a lot of cash on the table. So if the top line is hitting at that great rate, great. But if it's just that top, then you want to expand it a little bit and try to keep that percentage as high as you can, obviously.
Yeah, like I basically, it's the way that I program this thing is there's a grading system, you know, that accounts for a couple of things, which is like the projections, right, versus the sharp books versus the recreational books, right, the open versus the current. Like there's a lot of things that go in here that grade like what the what the score should be on every game. Yeah. And then maybe I'm just learning like what my score threshold is. Is my score threshold 6 and then I should not play things that come up as 5.5s, you know, or is my score threshold, 5.5 and I should play things above that, you know? Like
it's
I'm
going
gonna
to be
keep
very
working on it.
easy to look at it and be like, man, if I just made it 4.3,
I know.
I'd be 12-4.
Well, this
But
is how I
in
felt.
the long run, it's going to balance out.
But this is how I felt the other day, right? When I came on here and I talked about the results of the model, and I said, "Hey, we only played one play and it won. If we would have played more, we would have gone like 3-1. You know, like we left more wins on the table
Right.
by not going deeper, and maybe that was my mistake in yesterday in going a little bit deeper on the model. But hey, it's cooking. We're happy about it, and Better Day subscribers are happy about it as well. In the top 25 yesterday, Mackenzie, I mean, we had some interesting results. Number 15, Purdue had to scrape by to beat unranked Northwestern 70-66. Number 25, St. Louis was a massive favorite, but they only win. I mean, they win convincingly, but they win by 14. They don't cover 79-65 over Loyola Chicago. The system play, which was the unranked home favorite in unranked SMU, as a short 1.5 point home favorite against number 22 Miami. That did not come through. Number 22 Miami wins 77-69. But what did come through was the under in that game. So the system now falls to 14-9 straight up in ATS, but unders, Mackenzie, 17-6 now in this system.
Solid. And the margin, I'm guessing, is correspondingly good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's his. The margin. Well, I'd have to go reevaluate here, but yes, yesterday's margin was about 10 points. So pretty good rocking share there on
Solid.
the under. Also, we had a game where number 20 Arkansas beat Texas 105-85, and Fez texted me during this game because this is something that him and I have talked about and kind of tracked, and we should be playing more live plays like this. And maybe this is something to look at as we go into the NCAA tournament. When these kids have a chance to score 100 points, they go for it. There's something about it. We know that. Yes, we know that 100 points is like a rarity in college basketball, but there's something to it where the fans get excited, the bench players get excited. It's like a pound your chest type of moment when you can score 100 on a team. And so even though the game's a blowout, there's still value in playing the overs. And that's contrary to conventional wisdom, where people would think in a blowout game you'd want to play the under, right? Because scoring will slow down. Well, if it's a blowout game and one team has a chance to get to 100, you want to live play that over because these kids go for the 100.
I mean, I don't know if it's like the United Center where they give out Big Macs, but maybe
I think it's a similar thing though, right? With the tacos, right, and all that stuff. Like we want tacos.
It's a memorable day when you leave the arena.
Yes,
we scored 100. Last time we scored 100 here was 2021.
Yeah, I think that's a thing. So by the way, that game was identified as. In the model, it did identify Arkansas, Texas over as a top play, but it didn't meet like my threshold criteria.
Right.
It was
but you're still determining that threshold.
It was
so
just
enough
exactly
105-85s come in.
Exactly. So maybe like. All right, top 25 schedule. More conference tournaments are going to get underway, or they are going to continue here on Thursday. And something to keep an eye on is these first half unders in the neutral sites. I actually did a query about this, Mackenzie, as we get ready for the NCAA tournament. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to look up, since the start of the 2021 season, neutral site games in March. So this could be conference tournaments or NCAA tournament games. The first halves, on average, we're seeing 65-66 points scored. The second halves, we're seeing on average 74-75 points scored. I then shortened it to the start of the 2023 season. First halves, 1 point higher, 66-67 points. Second halves, also a point higher, 75-76 points in the second halves. So on average, we're seeing about 10 points scored more in the second halves than the first halves, but the first halves hovering from about 65-67 points in the first half on average.
So the markets adjust for this throughout the year, but especially in conference tournament time and in the big tournament time. That said, 10 points is a lot. Like they adjust for it and they make it like 48% of the total is in the first half instead of 50-50. But if it goes 10 points, then we're having a very good March if we're following that system.
So something to keep an eye on here with the first halves in the neutral site games. 2 games in the top 25 tonight, both in the Big Ten. Number 3, Michigan, 8.5-point favorites up on FanDuel at Iowa. And number 8, Michigan State, 18.5-point home favorites up on FanDuel against Rutgers. Let's get into the NBA, Mackenzie, where the Oklahoma City Thunder won the marquee matchup at Madison Square Garden, edging the Knicks 103-100. The Knicks had a couple of chances to force overtime, unable to do so at the end. SGA scores 26 points as the Thunder hold on to the victory. How big of a win was this for OKC?
It's a worse loss for the Knicks. This is not that big of a win for OKC. They've been a better overall team than a clutch team, so to have a comeback win in the fourth quarter is great, but SGA has been a great clutch player. He already has that 13-1 self-run in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. So, I mean, I think he's minted. I mean, I think they're waiting for the spring. This is all warm-ups for them. The Knicks, however, blew a big lead in the playoffs, lost a big series that they were favored to win, didn't follow through on their potential. And you look at Karl Anthony Towns, 8 field goals, not many, made 7 of them. What is going on? I think Shaq says he's got to be great. He's got to be great. Led the team in points, but only got 8 shots. What is going on there?
That's strange. Maybe just timid in the big moments. I don't know. That's something.
I think it's not. It's on him as it's 50-50. It's on him. Yeah, he's got to take the ball and want to do something. But the rest of the team has to feed him. I mean, the rest of the team has to make it a priority. We're not going to win NBA series if we don't have a 30-points per game scorer that's not Jalen Brunson.
Elsewhere, the Hornets beat the Celtics 118-89, which could trigger a system play here for the Celtics coming up in their next game. We can talk about that once we get to the game coming up on Friday against the Dallas Mavericks. But this Hornets team, Mackenzie, they're fun to watch. They're fun to bet on. They're fun to root for. At 32-31 right now, they're in the play-in round, we know, in the Eastern Conference. But is there a chance? Is there a chance that this team finds themselves in the playoffs when it's all said and done?
Playoffs, yes. I think they're better than the Miami Heat. They're probably about as good as the Magic in the 7th spot. So they're going to have their chances. Weren't you recommending that at like plus money?
You and I had the wager. No, it was minus. They were favored to make the playoffs.
Oh, okay. So I have the plus money. All right.
You have the plus money.
Well, I'm feeling fine. I mean, that's a big win. I mean, they won every quarter against the Celtics.
Do you want to know what the odds are right now? Do you want to know what the odds are right now, Mackenzie? Because
very impressive win. I'm going to say they are now minus 170.
Okay. Now, when we bet it, what was it? It was like minus 140 or whatever.
40.
Is it possible? Is it possible to have CLV on a dinner bet? Like, do I get like an extra appetizer or something? The Hornets up on FanDuel to make the playoffs, minus 240.
240. I mean, hard to argue. Their plus 4 margin is 4th in the East right now, or right there with the Cavs.
Yep. That is very, very impressive. We had a play on the 76ers last night against the Jazz. 76ers were lucky enough to get the win, 106-102. They don't cover. What was it about the Sixers last night that they came up short here against the Utah Jazz? Was it just underestimating Keontae George, who scored 30 points, and this team coming out firing?
No, I mean, if you would have told me the Jazz were going to score 102 points, I would have twice my bet on the Sixers. I mean, Tyrese Maxey, 2 for 6 in the game before. I thought he would come out, make a big performance. The Jazz is the team for a small guard to get a bunch of points on. But 2 for 10 in this game. They're just missing too many guys.
3-point range. I mean, two of 10 from 3-point range, you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of figured that Paul George at this point could be replaced pretty easily, and Joel Embiid, they're used to playing without him. But they're just out too many guys to be as dominant as they should be. My whole handicap was that the Sixers got destroyed by so much that they would come back with a vengeance. I mean, against the Jazz, I don't know if teams can muster even a vengeance. It's just a non-NBA game.
I wonder, when you looked at that trend, right? I wonder if the first quarter is a valuable play there. They won the first quarter 29-22. Is there something to getting dominated and then coming out strong in the first quarter of your next game?
Let's look that up. I think that's brilliant.
Because, I mean, they covered all spreads here in the first quarter. They were 8.5-point favorites for the game. You would imagine, 2.5 to 3.5 in the first quarter. They won, like I said, they won by 7, 29-22.
Yeah, teams in the spot dominating the first quarter by, 2 points per game. That's
right around what the line
with
is.
Overall straight up margin.
Yep. All right, maybe an angle to take a look at here moving forward. Before we get to the NBA schedule for tonight, Mackenzie, want to remind folks our NBA Game Center is still up for free up on BetterDay.com. So click on the NBA tab on the website, and you can experiment with the NBA Game Center for another day or so before it becomes exclusive to Better Day Insider and Premium members. And one thing that I want to explain is that the projections, like when you're looking for the prop edges, those projections are actually dynamic, meaning with more information about player availability, the projections will change. So we had some questions from Better Day members yesterday about Deni Avdija, right? And how his projections were so low compared to the prop market. And so they were like, why isn't this a best bet? Like, why aren't we hammering like the unders?
Well, you wouldn't have lost any money if you did.
Exactly. What happened was because the player was questionable, their projections are lower because the algorithm is not projecting him to get a full complement of minutes. Now, if that player gets ruled in, the projections will change, but that player got ruled out. So obviously the low projection was, hinting at something. Yeah. What I recommend, and Mackenzie, tell me what you think about this, is when you look at the reason why I put the projection box score next to the prop edges is because I want you to be able to click back and forth. And so if you look at the prop edges, I would also look at the projected box score. And then you could see, oh, well, this player is projected, the game center is telling me there's a massive projection on his unders, but then I click on the projected box score and I see, oh, wait a minute, he's only projected to play 19 minutes. Yeah. And then that's why, because you can see, hey, why is he only projected to play 19 minutes when he played 30 minutes last night, things like that. So they're all on the same page for you to be able to click and go back and forth, because this way you can see if a player is questionable, they're not going to be projected to play a full complement of minutes.
And oftentimes books are going to protect themselves by not making the questionable players' odds available, but I still think you want to price in that 40% chance of them playing at 60% or whatever it is, because every other player in the box score is affected by that. So if I think it's 50-50 Deni Avdija is going to play, I can price every other player thinking 0 or thinking 100, but it's going to be more accurate to think, all right, well, Deni Avdija in some scenarios plays, in some scenarios plays limited. Either way is going to take away his minutes and his shot opportunities, and how do I think that's going to be dispersed against the rest of the box score, the rest of the players?
But this is their props. This is the beauty of our game center, though. Because our game center is projecting the lesser minutes for Avdija, right? So it's obviously finding prop edges on the other players to go over because it's projecting less minutes for the star player, right? And so you might look at it and say, oh, wow, it's flagging a big under here. No, the play might not be to play on that under. The play might be to play on the overs for the other players, because if that guy does in fact get ruled out, everybody else eats more.
And it's another out. Like if I think I have a 54% play on Drew Holiday, who's been putting it together, and then I also add into the fact that there's a good chance Deni Avdija doesn't play at all or plays half his minutes, then that over becomes, instead of a 54% play, maybe it's a 60% play, and I'm ready to hammer it.
There you have it. So check the Game Center. It is for free right now for the next couple of days up on BetterDay.com. Just click on that NBA tab. All right, Mackenzie, let's get to the schedule in the association tonight. These odds courtesy of our friends over at the FanDuel Sportsbook. Dallas Mavericks at the Orlando Magic. Magic minus 8.5. The Jazz, after that battle, will now face another battle at the Washington Wizards. Wizards minus 2. The Nets are at the Miami Heat. Miami laying 12.5. Warriors visit the Rockets. Houston minus 9.5. Toronto at Minnesota. The Timberwolves minus 6. Pistons at the Spurs, where the Spurs are minus 3.5, total of 228.5. Mackenzie, are we going to go back to the well with our Cade Cunningham underplay?
Yeah, I think we do because he goes under his last prop by 10 points, 16 points with the over-under of 25.5, despite taking 26 shots. So, yes, he might make 40% of his shots against a tough defense and not 25%. But he's also not going to take 26 shots. We've seen that in subsequent games, him taking a little bit of a different approach. So I think he went into he sent the canary into the mine. It blew up. And now he's going to have a more conservative approach. The algorithm that sets the market is not going to adjust for that. So I do like the under.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on the props here for Cade Cunningham. Elsewhere, the Chicago Bulls will be at the Suns. Phoenix laying 11.5. The Lakers at the Nuggets. Denver laying 5 at home against LA. What do you like in this one?
I think I got to go. I got to go Denver. I mean, these are two teams trending in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
But at Denver, the way their offense is playing and the way the Lakers defense is playing, maybe Denver team total under. Maybe I isolate that because I don't see them slowing him down.
Okay.
DeAndre Ayton is not slowing Jokic down.
Yeah, you mean Denver team total over?
Yes.
Okay. And the other game is the Sacramento Kings hosting the Pelicans, where New Orleans is a 4-point road
This
favorite.
game will guarantee that one of the most remarkable trends this year in the NBA will come to a close. If you look at the bottom 10 teams in the NBA standings, starting with the Milwaukee Bucks, who lost last night, they're on a 42-game losing streak. No team in the bottom 10 has won a game in their last 42. The Bucks, Bulls, Grizzlies, Mavericks, Pelicans, Jazz, Wizards, Nets, Pacers, and Kings are over. We started this NBA second half talking about tanking. How have we not made more money on this? This is incredible. I mean, I think we're positive for the NBA second half.
Yeah,
but it's incredible how tanking the season is right now. Of course, the Jazz covered but did not win.
Yeah, well, shout out John in our community chat yesterday or 2 days ago played the tank. He did the tanking money line parlay.
Brilliant.
It only paid out like plus 138. And then I saw last night when the Sixers were in the battle last night, Doug Kazarian had tweeted out a lot of money line parlays are on the line right now because you figured a lot of people were going to play. That's the joke. Not the joke, but that's the comment. The money line parlays is just playing against the tanking teams. Then again, like what was the parlay last night? It was just Sixers money line. I guess you'd want to play
Grizzlies are in that bottom 10. The Blazers aren't great, but they're not in that bottom 10.
Yeah, so I guess
Pacers, and then the Bucks are technically there, although I thought they'd have more pride against the Hawks.
Yeah, interesting stuff. So maybe we look at it. Maybe we look at it tonight.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Worth a sprinkle.
42 consecutive losses for the bottom 10 teams, right? My goodness.
Nobody does selling better than Shopify. Shopify is the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret, with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts go abandoned and way more sales going through. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. On the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout that Skims uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period for 3 months at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
College basketball is nonstop. Big games, tight spreads, momentum swings every night. And now FanDuel is giving you a way to turn that energy into bigger wins. With the College Basketball Parlay Profit Boost, here's how it works. Build any college hoops parlay you like. The early tip, the rivalry game, the ranked matchup, the late night West Coast shootout, mixed spreads, totals, props, whatever fits your read of the slate. Then just apply your profit boost and instantly bump up that potential payout. Go safe, go spicy, go with the team you've been following all season. It's your parlay, your style. Now with more upside behind it. Head to FanDuel.com/believe to get started. FanDuel, play your game. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with the Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Minimum 2-leg parlay required. Bonus issued as a non-withdrawable Boost Builder tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amounts. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. For Louisiana, call 1-877-770-7867.
Joining us right now on this episode of Better Day, a special guest. He is former Major League pitcher Josh Towers, my former co-host on the Inside Pitch Major League Baseball podcast, which may be making a return. More news on that still to come. But Josh Towers joins us here as the World Baseball Classic gets underway. Josh, what's your thoughts on this tournament, bro? Are you excited to see the best of the best or some of the best play against each other here?
Yeah, man, I love this tournament. I think anytime you can put your country on your shirt or on your jersey, it's the coolest thing ever. I'm tripping out, though, because I didn't know Austin Wells was of Dominican descent. Also, even more than Austin Wells, who grew up in Las Vegas around the corner from us, being of Dominican descent. I'm tripping out that Jazz Chisholm Jr. is playing for Great Britain. What am I missing there?
Listen, you can get on the roster, right? Why not?
So, like, I could have, my grandma was Italian, so I could have been on the Italian team.
Yes.
Obviously, the USA team. I probably could have finagled my way into the Mexican team growing up in Southern California. There's got to be some other, like, we're white, dude, right? There's got to be some other countries. I mean, I probably could have played for Great Britain too, huh?
Yeah. Listen, maybe I should have tried out for Team Israel. You know, I could have made it, you know?
Yeah, I would have avoided that one. That's the one I wouldn't have done, but...
Well, it's certainly going to be a fun tournament. The United States is the overwhelming favorite to win up on FanDuel right now. It's minus 110 odds.
How is that possible for them to be the overwhelming favorite? Bro, what pitching do they have? Derek Scooble's on a 50-pitch game. 50, one game, 50 pitches. That's it. That's all they get him for. Like, what do you mean? Like, they don't have enough arms to play this meaningful games. Japan, they don't mess around. Dominican Republic, they don't mess around. Some of these, every other country, they don't care. Like, listen, the USA team is dope. They're stacked. It's a really cool roster. I love watching them play. But they're going to have to piece together 6 pitchers a game because of how much we have to protect our pitchers because of our investments. I just don't think that they have enough pitching. I don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Skeens can only go so much, right? I mean, the restrictions are, 65 pitches in the first round, 80 pitches in the quarterfinal round, 95 pitches in the championship round.
No one's going 95 pitches in spring training. It's not happening.
Do you think that it's a little dangerous though for some of these guys, because as much as you want to tell them to, like, hey, we're only going to go 80% or 75%.
No, you don't do that.
No?
We don't play a percentage game.
You let them go.
Well, no, we don't have to play. We don't play a percentage game. I don't give you 50% or 60% or 90%. That's like the most inconsistent way of training your body of all time. Like, we would get hurt all day if we do that. Everything we do is at a percentage of, we never go 100% because then you're out of control at 100%, right? But we go at a percentage that we can control everything and still have the ability to add and subtract. But if it's the first day of spring training, you're getting the same percentage you would get the last day of the season or in a playoff game. It's just I've built up more stamina to go further. So, yeah, you're not going to get like a 50% version of me. You're going to get the best version of me. It's just on that best version, I only have 1 inning and 20 pitches today. That's it, and we progress. So
are you not concerned with any pitchers that might ramp it up too much and get hurt here in the World Baseball Classic?
No, I think a lot of these guys for us, I think they're all experienced enough to know how to control that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say if some younger kids don't know how to control that stuff, And that's where it gets dangerous, and that's where coaches kind of come in to protect them. But I think on this roster, all of those pitchers are experienced enough to know how to control that, which, again, that's not an easy thing to control. It takes years to learn that about yourself.
After this is over, who do you think has the edge going into the start of the regular season? Do the pitchers have the edge, or do you think the batters that are participating in this tournament have the edge?
As far as what?
As far as like starting the regular season hot. Like, I think that the batters are going to start the regular season hotter than they would if they went through spring training, because getting at bats here in the World Baseball Classic against some of these world-class pitchers is better than any spring training at bat you're going to get against a minor leaguer, a single A or double A player.
Go back and look at history, brother. We've been doing this for a long time. No. What happens is we're not ready. That's why hitters don't hit well in April usually, right? You're not ready for the intensity of what pitchers bring. It takes a long time to get into midseason form. Hitters always start heating up when the weather gets hot. With that said, you're asking them to get even hotter earlier, which is a very difficult thing to do. But they'll adjust. It's tough, man. That's why there's not gonna be some high scoring games unless the pitcher has a bad day. But they'll adjust. But then what happens? The second it's over, you go back to spring training for like a week of spring training, and so you go from this crazy highs of traveling the world to these lows of spring training, and then you start the season with these kind of like lows. So no, I don't think it's like, I don't think it does anything into parlaying hitters into like a step above being ready for the season. I think if anything, it kind of sets them back.
Okay. All right. We'll take a look at that. The odds to win the MVP, Aaron Judge is your betting favorite at plus 800. Shohei Ohtani is next at 10-1. And just a reminder for people, Ohtani will not be pitching in this tournament. So it's only the batting version of Shohei Ohtani. And then you got Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber at 17-1. Bobby Witt is at 19-1. Paul Skeens, 19-1. And then you got a couple of Dominican players, Vlad Guerrero at 25-1, Juan Soto at 25-1. I got to be honest, Josh, I think the value here is on the guy like Soto or Vladdy, because I could see the Dominican Republic winning this tournament.
Oh, easy. That's funny that Aaron Judge would be a betting favorite over Ohtani if Ohtani's not pitching. What's the difference? They're both DHs. I mean, Aaron Judge is a center fielder, but you might as well call him a DH. He's not like he's anything special in the outfield. So, like, you're telling me if Ohtani's not pitching, the people laying the lines think overall Judge is a better player than Ohtani. That's interesting to me.
Well, I think it's just the odds on to win the tournament, because like the United States is the favorite at minus 110, and then the Dominican and Japan are next at plus 360. So
how are we the favorite? Because
yeah.
Well, we lost to Japan last time, right? Obviously,
Yep.
Japan won. So you would immediately think that team, which is much better than they were, would be the favorite. But we also have a couple players who didn't play last time, like Harper and Judge. And so just adding those, I guess just adding Judge kind of just blanketly puts as a favorite, huh?
Yeah, and Skeens, like, and Mason Miller, like, it's going to be a great tournament, Josh. That's this.
I'm glad that all the stars decided to play. Like, I get why they don't, because it's a very difficult time. There's no other time we can do this.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate part, but it's a very difficult time for players, especially pitchers, to be ready to really do this and do what we want to do. When you're under contract for millions of dollars, you can't risk that stuff. So I'm glad that the players all decided to play, because this is what you want to see. You want to see that loaded-ass Dominican team and that USA team. And the one thing I didn't see was Puerto Rico's team. Like, when I looked at the box score, I didn't see a lot of guys that I was expecting to see. So I don't know how many of those guys didn't suit up. But I really hope that if you could, you did.
Yeah, there was also a lot of issues, I know, with some players with the insurance waivers with their contracts, so they weren't allowed to play, and that was kind of annoying. But Josh, man, you missed the boat, because there's a bunch of former major leaguers that are actually playing for some of these teams, and you're right. Maybe you should have tried out for like Great Britain or something and seen if you could throw a couple of innings.
Oh, I should have. Yeah, I didn't even think about it. I should have put my name on the list for Italy, bro. I definitely could have cracked that roster, and I can go 9, dude. So I got definitely making it.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. I would have got ready in a second to play that stuff.
Yeah, there's a bunch of former major leaguers, guys that have been retired for a couple of years that are going to be playing in this thing. So it's going to be great to watch. Josh, thanks.
It's great because that does create the opportunity. That's why I was looking at like the Netherlands and Australia and some of these other rosters, because there are leagues that still go on, but it does give guys who we may have forgot about them because they haven't been in the league in like 2 or 3 years, but they haven't stopped playing, and it's a beautiful opportunity for some guys like that. I love it for that reason too.
Hey, listen, Adam Ottavino is like 40 years old. I think he's pitching for Italy or something. So, you know. Hey, Josh, dude, appreciate the time. Thanks so much for giving us a couple minutes, and we look forward to your contributions as we start the Major League Baseball season here up on BetterDay.com.
Yes, sir. All right, brother.
Great stuff there from Josh Towers, former Major League pitcher. Again, looking forward to getting his involvement here coming up for the Major League Baseball season up on BetterDay.com. Taking a look at the odds here in the World Baseball Classic. As we mentioned with Josh, the United States is at minus 110 favorite. And while we all want to root for it, Mackenzie, there's no value in the minus 110. There just isn't. Like the numbers just, it's too short. And while I think they're going to win, like when you get to that championship game, what's the odds going to be? The United States against the Dominican Republic or the United States against Japan? Like, is it minus 180, minus 170? Like, do you?
Let's see. I think it's a pretty good comp. So the World Baseball Classic was last in what, 2024?
2023.
So in that, to start that tournament, America was minus 110 to start the whole tournament. And for the final specifically, USA was minus 165, Japan plus 175. So if they get to the final, if it was anything like 2023, they have like a 60% chance to win. And you got to bet that they have a 53% chance to win right now today. So yeah, I think that's not the value play.
I just feel like do you want to tie up your money for a couple of weeks in the hopes that they make it to the championship game and then what? I guess you can bet the other side like plus 170 or whatever and try and profit.
If you believed in USA that much, why would you?
Exactly. Or like there's a chance anything could happen. What if the USA loses in the quarterfinal? What if they lose in the semifinal? Like maybe you're just better off betting the per game bets.
Most definitely, I think.
And then I mean, I'm not talking about a money line rollover because some of these money lines in the early games are going to be ridiculous. But I'll tell you what, the money line rollover in the elimination round is probably going to pay out more than 110.
Yes, because I mean, what do you have to pair with a minus 160 to get it above 110? Like a minus 200?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to use the Better Day parlay.
I was just about to say that. Let's go to BetterDay.com and use our parlay calculator. We'll call it minus 175, and minus 175 together is plus 147.
Yeah.
So, like, think about that. And let's just say the U.S. is like minus 200 in the semifinals and minus 175 in the championship. That's still plus 136. On the 2-leg parlay, which is still better.
Let's do minus 300 and minus 175. That's plus 110. So it's going to be very hard for them to be that massive a favorite in each round if they're going to play Dominican Republic, etc., Japan.
Exactly. So the lesson is do not bet the United States at minus 110 right now. You could have some fun with the MVP markets, though. Aaron Judge is the favorite at plus 800 up on FanDuel. Shohei Ohtani, the second favorite at 10-1. Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, each 17-1. Bobby Witt, 19-1. Paul Skeens of the U.S., 19-1. I actually think that Juan Soto of the Dominican at 25-1. He homered twice in an exhibition game yesterday. Juan Soto at 25-1, I think, is a fun bet because the Dominican could easily win this tournament. And then if Juan Soto has a big tourney, like he could win the MVP. So, instead of betting the Dominican to win, 25-1 on Soto, it's fun.
Who's the next Dominican player? Is there another
Vladdy
candidate?
Vladdy is also 25-1.
Oh, he's too fat. It would definitely give it to Soto.
All right. As a reminder, head to our website, BetterDay.com. The NBA Game Center, still free trial for everybody for the next day or so, and then it will go behind our paywall and be exclusive to Better Day Insider and Premium members. And we hope that you continue to find use out of that. And, of course, all the other tools that we have for your disposal up on BetterDay.com. Daily free play posted on our website as well. You can always follow us on social media. For Mackenzie Rivers, I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's hoping you make today and every day a better day.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.